Hello, 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 hello to everyone out there.
Hello.
Welcome, fellow chemists. We're back in action. I hope everybody
Yes.
is doing well. We've missed you guys. I hope everybody has been having a pleasant summer thus far. Uh, Not melting for the most part. Uh, so it's awesome to have you guys. If for anybody coming into the room, we look forward to having some really solid conversation today. Um, Ms. D, do you want to tell everybody what our topic is for today?
Well, the topic today is intimacy. We have been seeing some posts and things going around on um, online about the lack of what that means, what it looks like in a relationship. So that's what we'll be talking about today.
Now, she put that really mildly, because initially she actually saw a post online, and I think that's what triggered the conversation. Um, a lot of it had to do with uh, a woman's willingness to be available to her man in an intimate setting, and I think she had a whole problem with the plug and play or the availability. Like she should be, like women should just be ready to jump on a dime and just be ready to go. I think that
Yeah.
was kind of what it was.
It was a little more to it. I have to recollect everything. It's been a minute since I saw the post. But it was basically saying that, regardless of what mind frame you're in, um, you should yield to your spouse as far as intimacy goes. Now, the problem I have with that is if a man is setting a tone for his household and his wife is in a bad headspace and he expects for her to just switch that off and then switch this other on, that's not really being a good steward of of what would you be a steward of? I mean, your household, your relationship.
Your the mental health of your partner,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
well-being of your partner. I,
true.
I think that's a significant thing. So
Yeah, it is.
um, that's a big piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you don't take a moment to take into consideration your partner's needs, then you're definitely going to have problems somewhere down the line. So
Right, right.
um, I think it's a good thing to try and make sure that both parties are in a good headspace.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Making sure everybody is. I'm trying to stay so PG about this.
I mean,
Um,
at the end of the day, we are talking to couples or people that desire to be a couple. So,
More importantly, we're talking to grown folks.
yeah,
So that's the whole thing. If somebody ain't in the mood, things ain't happening, or you're not getting the most out of the experience.
right, right.
Um, so I don't think anybody wants to be cheated in intimacy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So with that being the case, I think men have to be aware that even though we more or less have a microwave setting,
Mm-hmm.
women are more like, of course, an
And
oven.
the oven have to be warmed up.
Got to be warmed up. So you have to be patient.
Yeah.
Got to be prepared to do the work and be able to sit back and take into mind, hey, this is this is something I have to be mindful of when it comes to my partner. This is what my partner's needs are,
Right, right.
and I have to be mindful of what my partner's needs are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes both ways.
It does.
I think that's the funny part.
I mean, absolutely. But that's why you guys have to create a space for that to happen. And when I say you guys, I mean couples together, us, them, couples. You have to create that space. But then we have to realize and recognize that sometimes it's just not gonna come together. Like sometimes it's gonna be hit or miss, just because of life, you know. Um, not because to blame one person or the other, but just life happens and it may not come together. But if you make it your business to create that space, then you can make it happen despite the chaos.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes because uh, life in general can get really routine,
Yeah.
and being in a relationship does kind of require that you have a routine, so that way you're able to manage the coming and goings of both parties.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
you don't feel so much like two ships sailing in the night, just passing each other.
True.
Um, so intimacy can be, it can become routine, and it can become an expectation for one or both members of the relationship.
Right.
But
Right.
there also has to be those spontaneous moments.
Yeah.
Um, and I think those spontaneous moments are really the things that have to be addressed, because if you have an expectation that's saying, hey,
Yeah.
like every Thursday night,
So you gonna make a schedule every Thursday night?
well, I mean, that's the thing. I think I think a lot of couples end up with a schedule.
Well, I mean, if that works, then it works. Like there's no right answer or wrong answer to that. So, um, one of the biggest things is you have to learn how to create a more intimate and a more connected relationship. So once you're connected, even just having that conversation, honey, today was a bad day, and that I don't think anything's gonna happen today. I mean, just being blunt about it, just saying that, what, hey, I'm not feeling it. I got too many things, in my mind going on, and I'm just not gonna be into it.
I think you're supposed to do a pulse check
Yeah.
off top. You know, um, even if it's your mindset,
Yeah.
um, intimacy has to be an invitation, not an obligation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have not done a pulse check on your partner to see where your partner is, it's going to be an obligation for your
Right.
partner,
Right.
um, based on the way you
Right.
provide the invite,
So
so to speak.
let me give some stats. So in America, there is one divorce every 36 seconds. So by the time we finish this, um, 200 no 2,400 per day, which is a lot. That's astronomical for me. And per year, 876,000 divorces. And I guarantee you, the majority of those could have been um, avoided, and they probably could have been avoided because somebody maybe felt unheard, they didn't communicate. There are a number of things that can actually make that happen, and it's unfortunate. Like, we never want to see anybody actually go through that. We had so many friends that, and actually, he took me to, like, I don't know, about 5 or 6 weddings when we first started dating.
Did
I mean, that was our dating. Like,
I
I
don't
don't remember just going out. I remember just going to weddings.
I don't know what was up with that man.
So I don't know if he was trying to plant that seed. I don't know what was going on, but and some of them aren't even married now. And not only does it take a toll on the couple, it takes a toll on the people around them. Like, we still grieve about that because we don't. I don't know. We can't fathom what changed. How you love somebody so much, and then next thing you know, that changed, and you're not with that person anymore.
Well, and I think it a lot has to do with, um, your starting point, um, making sure that your foundation is where you need it to be when you're first starting off in that relationship.
Well, I guess
Um,
they seem pretty solid to me, but
well, and I think that's the tough part, is because what we're doing is we're on the outside looking in.
yeah.
Um, so with that being the case, we're not always 100% sure how solid a relationship is.
Right.
Um, the looks that
So
you
I'm gonna
giving me.
just tell y'all right now, my pet peeve is while we're on here, he's moving stuff, doing this, doing that, and I'm like, dude, stop touching the computer. Like, stop. What are you doing? So if y'all see my face looking at him like that, it's because I'm like, why are you fidgeting? You're making me nervous. So just,
She ready to cut me.
I'm like, just cut it out. Just relax, right?
Okay, one's nervous energy. Two is also my concern about the production of
I get
it.
it. I know you're
Okay,
fully invested. You want the production to be right, but you throwing me off because you're doing all this stuff over here by my side.
so it's
If
not
you
in.
was doing stuff over there on your side, I wouldn't know.
So it's not feeling inviting. It's feeling like an obligation.
No, it's feeling intrusive. Like you over here on my side. All in my space over here.
Wait a minute. Are we?
What?
This is love chemistry, right? At some point, I'm gonna be in your space.
Remember when we talked about sometimes you don't have chemistry, you have mathematics, and it's a problem.
And remember when I said I'm not good at math, but I'm a problem solver?
Well, it's whatever. It's whatever.
So, but no, that's it's definitely it can definitely be concerning when you sit there and you look at other couples
Right,
around you,
right,
and from your perspective, they seem like really strong couples, and then
right.
something somewhere along
Something
the way,
happens.
something
Yeah.
there's a breakdown somewhere.
So, inside of our journal, we have some prompts and some things for you to be able to do. You can rebuild. We have tools inside this journal. We have one called For Better for Worse, and it's just going through and just pretty much reliving the reasons why you guys came together, why you guys, decided to get married, why you love each other. And so, with that, so marriage. So, this is one of the quotes that we have in there: make it last forever. Love is the reason. Long life friendship is the gift. Kindness is the cause. Till death do us part is the length. And that's by Fawn Weaver. That's a saying, a quote by Fawn Weaver. And so, the end goal is staying together forever.
Excuse me, y'all. I apologize for my key sweat moment for a second there.
I knew he was gonna have it. As soon as I said it, I knew he was gonna do it. When I said make it last forever,
That was it.
I already knew.
Trigger.
I already knew. Um, and then you talked about foundation a little earlier. Also in the journal, we talk about that. We talk about foundation, laying the foundation. So you may have to go back and fix the foundation. Sometimes, like even when you buy a home or whatever, and they're like, you hear people say, "Oh, we're having foundation problems. We need somebody to come out and fix it." That's what we're here for. That's why we're healthy marriage coaches. So basically, we're the foundation experts. Do we always get it right in our own relationship? No. And we're never going to tell you or lie to you and say that we do, because we don't, but we put in the work. It's the effort at this point that really counts. What do you think?
Um, the moment you stop fighting is the moment you give up.
Yeah.
But one thing I did tell this lady to my right the other night, I said, I don't want to fight with you anymore. I just want to have spats. You know, those little things that you kind of get into it, but it's not a lingering pain or hurt to it. Um, I think there's still continuous growth that has to happen to where you're speaking each other's language
Right, right.
and you're speaking it in a manner where you're receptive. Uh, Now, what's she just talking about me?
Sorry. I got distracted because
She was just talking about me.
I know, I was just trying to see who was on with us. I wanted to tell them hi.
Okay, so okay, so that's okay.
Can you say hi so we can say hi back? I'm sorry. Listen. I would have had all this done if you weren't clicking over here on my side.
The truth.
I cannot with him.
The truth shall set you free.
So I'm gonna just tell y'all. So I gotta really, really be cognizant of my facial expressions, because my spiritual mom went and she was looking at our YouTube channel and she was checking out our videos, and she said On one of them, I was giving him this look.
Kind of right there.
That I was giving him this look, and she was all nervous about it. So I'm trying to do better, but I can't promise anything. Now, back to the spat thing. So I don't expect, I mean, I don't know if you really know that what you consider a fight to me is a spat.
Okay, so for you, is there a difference?
Hmm?
Is there a difference between a spat and a fight?
No.
So
No.
regardless, it's whatever. If it's a disagreement, it's all on the same level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got levels.
So I'm having to give somebody the link to get in. So
I got levels.
I mean, you've been with me for how many years? Almost 23 years. So you know that.
I know you got levels.
Yeah, I do.
So that's why I said, is there a difference for you between a spat and a fight?
Yeah, it is.
You just
I
said
mean, well, no, it's not. My fights and spats are the same thing.
she's had a long day.
No, I've had a long week. Don't even just say day. This week has been a lot for me. My sleep has been restless. I have a lot going on at work, deadlines, onboarding a new. If no, I didn't open that.
Oh, I was just trying to make sure there
Um,
wasn't alcohol in here.
no, onboarding a new employee. Get my water. And just doing employee relations things that I have to do in my day to day in my what they call it, my 9 to 5, my corporate job.
Your day job.
Mm-hmm.
Your day job.
And then I have to come home and
You know she just did that, so
tend to him.
she gonna ask for something or ask me to do something. I'm you know what? Scratch that. I already know I got a honeydew list after we're done with this, so that's what that was for.
Anyways,
She is setting me up
who
with
lets
an invitation
who
and not an
lets
obligation.
who lets their husband sleep in on Saturdays until 2 o'clock?
Uh, why not? It's my off day.
2 o'clock.
It's my off day
Well, it don't matter.
because
Your mom said.
that next day I
Your
work.
mom said. You such a good wife. You don't even bother him. You just let him sleep all day.
That's because she drives my stepdad crazy.
So I'm a firm believer. If your body's tired and you sleep, just let him sleep. Like I don't want anybody waking me up.
I mean,
When I sleep in to 7:30, man, that's the best sleep I ever get in my life.
That's so disrespectful when you say that.
What?
Sleeping at 7:30 what? AM or PM?
Damn.
That's not sleeping in.
It is.
Yeah, it is. If you went to sleep at like 2:30 the previous day, 2:30 p.m. the previous day. Otherwise, it's not sleeping in.
It is. It is.
It's not. You guys, you still got bakers like, oh man, this first batch just came out.
I never understood why he thinks me sleeping in to 7:30 is so terrible. Like,
Well, you say it's not necessarily that it's terrible. It's the way you present it, like it's really something extreme. I'm sleeping. Oh yeah, I'm sleeping in tomorrow. You basically slept an hour later than you normally do. That's not sleeping in to me.
that extra hour, it helps me out. Keeps me looking young.
You
At least everybody at work doesn't think that I'm my age.
I don't think you look your age at all, but still,
That's that extra hour.
that's like
That's what it,
daylight savings time.
that extra hour does that for me.
That's daylight
So,
savings time.
Anyway,
Is what it is.
now don't talk about daylight savings because that's when I struggle for real. So come November, I'll be struggling because yeah.
So we, excuse us, we've swerved all off topic. So let's circle back to that.
We just do what we do.
So yeah, I think the main premise behind this discussion is the unfair balance when it comes specifically in this situation with gender.
Yeah.
So not to take shots at any same-sex partners that are watching this, but what triggered the conversation was definitely a slanted ideal of what should be done in a male-female relationship.
Yeah.
Which really It really sucks.
Right. Right.
Um, when you have to look at it that way, because then you're trying to figure out. Then you're going back to this rather what I deem to be archaic way of looking at relationships,
Yeah.
and it's also kind of a I almost want to say elf on the shelf, but I don't want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that whole thing where you decide that you want to put your partner on a shelf, and then when you want to deal with them, you want them to be ready to go. Like
Right.
you act like you hit a pause button, and your partner is waiting for you to come back and press the pause button again, so life starts for them once again.
Right.
So that's
Let me see if I can find the post that we were talking about because I thought I saved it. Um, Give me just a second so I can search through and see if I can find it.
as she looks.
All right. I mean, you can keep chatting. I'm gonna just look
Well,
in here and see
yeah,
if I can find what I
I
can
was
find.
I was about to. Um, so yeah, I don't think I think for the the initiating partner, like we said before, there still needs to be a warming up process. There should be a
Right.
pulse check, see where your partner's head is at. Don't rob yourself with cheapened experiences just because of genetic or hormonal cause. Uh, because after a while, you kind of get desensitized. That's how people are built. If you
Right.
keep going through the same experience over and over again, and you start to cheapen it because there's no real investment, when it starts changing from an action to just, I mean, from an action to rather looking for a connection, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I wish I would have been able to find this before we started, so that way I could definitely give you guys a quick view of the situation because whatever it was, it made me. I mean, it really made me.
She was, she was mad.
I wasn't that mad.
She was big mad.
Shut up. This dude right here is cracking me up.
I can't argue with you. I'm
Mm-mm.
just saying.
Mm-mm. It wasn't even that serious. But it just really made me feel some type of way because the number one thing I think for me is that everybody puts so many stipulations on what a relationship's supposed to look like, what people are supposed to do in the relationship, how they're supposed to do in the relationship. And then when you do that, you lose focus of the relationship.
As a whole.
I mean, you know, my wife, when she go to work, she come home, she better be cooking when I get there. The food better be ready. I, I'm gonna just tell you right now, I wish he would.
Okay. So here's a problem I think I have, and it's not specifically with that, but
Right, right.
I think the main problem I have with just listening to individuals vent about their relationship
Mhm.
is because it never starts off with what they did to improve the situation.
Right,
It always starts off with what their partner did wrong.
right, right.
So,
Yeah.
what actions are you taking to improve the situation that you're currently going through in your relationship?
Mhm.
Or if you're looking to enter a relationship,
Mhm.
what are you doing to improve from previous experiences and previous rocky scenarios that either led to very unpleasant situations in those relationships or
Right,
the ending of your relationship?
right.
So I think it's a big deal to take an evaluation of yourself before you start pointing fingers. What they say, you point one finger, you got four more pointing back at you.
Yeah. Let me see.
Are you still looking for that thing?
Yes, because it's really wearing on me because I'm trying to figure out
I married a researcher.
what it was.
I married a researcher.
I'm trying to research and find out what it was. Okay, I'm not gonna
Actually,
find it.
I buried somebody who liked to keep receipts.
What? You remember what I told you why I keep receipts?
Yeah,
Why?
I I do recall
Why?
because you like to refer back to stuff, especially if you got to return it.
No,
What?
I don't.
What now?
I keep receipts just in case something happens and they try to say I fit the description.
Oh yeah, because
I can prove where I was at the time of the crime.
you watch too much Locked Up Abroad.
I cannot with this dude. Like, I don't take stuff back. Not unless he tell me to take it back.
Really?
uh,
Did that even sound believable? Um, but yeah, I think when it comes to intimacy, there's definitely uh, there needs to be a a conversation.
is that something ringing?
Yeah, that would not be me. That would be your oldest son.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is that? That was a
Um,
new sound.
no, it was just go home.
Oh, okay.
Um, you have to excuse Queen of Distraction over here. She,
Why? Why? Why is he trying me on a Friday at 7:28?
hey, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm being hands free. I got my hands off the computer. I got my hands off the keyboard. I got my hands off the mouse. Yeah,
Oh, so now he gonna try to try me
yeah.
just because he not touching nothing. Now he gonna try to try me.
So,
Like, dude,
uh,
let's.
for anybody who hasn't seen this current TikTok trend, people are taking the sound from a comedian, and in this stand-up segment, men are basically recording their wives, and it's playing this sound, and he goes with, "She writes the rules, but doesn't have to follow them." So, for example, if she wants to go hang out with her friends, she just gets up and she goes. She doesn't leave a list, no food. I don't know what to do. She don't leave any clothes. I don't know what to do. He said, now, if I want to go hang out with my friends, there's paperwork involved. There's a slideshow. Yeah, y'all just got to find it. It's funny, but it's
He
to a
keep
certain
telling me
extent
about
it's
that, but he don't
accurate.
live that life. He don't even live that life. Listen, okay, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I can prove he don't live this life. So he could be the person going to get the food for dinner if we eat out, and it'll be 3 hours later, and I'm like, where is this dude? And I call him. I'm like, babe, you okay? Oh yeah, the boys over here on the block, and so I just stopped through here.
That's what I sound
I'm
like,
like,
though.
dude, I'm about to die. Like, I'm hungry.
But that's what I sound like, though. That's
That's
what
my
I.
interpretation.
Wow.
That's my
I'm not
interpretation.
talking to her anymore if that's what I sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was out on the block with the homies, you know what I'm saying? 12 rolled up on us, man. I just had to, I had to make it, you know what I'm saying?
I
No
was like,
cap.
dang, I'm thinking, okay, he done got kidnapped, he sex trafficked, aliens
Not,
got him.
what? Really?
Like, I don't know what happened. Like 3 hours later, and I'm sitting up here hungry, and
Okay, first of all, I did still survive the 90s in Fort Worth. I think I'm good.
I know, I get that. But it's just like I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I've watched two movies and I'm like, wait a minute, something is missing.
The disrespect.
And then my
What?
stomach get to growling and I'm like,
So you sitting there doing this and I'm on the couch?
yeah, like something's supposed to be happening right
I
now.
was supposed to be, something was,
Yes, I'm sorry.
babe. Oh, that's what it was, him. He's missing. Really? Afterthought?
Whatever. You know when I zone into a show, then I'm just in there.
Out of sight, out
Like
of mind
or a
feeling?
movie.
Just a little bit?
Whatever.
But that's what that is. Um,
Okay, why is the internet acting up right now? Are we having a situation? What is happening?
I don't know, as long as we're not having a situation ship.
I should have known. I knew he was gonna go there.
You know, I do that from time to time.
Yeah,
Are we good with that now?
yeah. I'm good. I'm back. I was trying to tag somebody because they're asking me, and give me a minute.
They were asking you something in particular.
I'm tagging somebody because they were looking to go on. All right.
What, they wanted to come in and speak or something, or
I don't know if they wanted to speak, but they were trying to find the live.
um.
I see your face.
First of all, there's a lag,
I know,
so
and
that's
I didn't see it because I was looking over here, but now I see it.
so
Like,
that's extremely funny that that's the case because you're like, oh, so this is what we get. We got the instant replay action over there. So now I can't do nothing when she's looking off.
if I have to be mindful of my face, you have to be mindful of your face.
Okay, so here's the deal though. For for me, my faces are intentional. The faces I make are intentional.
Mine are too.
At least 95% of the time. Your faces, on the other hand, are intentional 50% of the time and unintentional the other 50.
If you say so, buddy.
Hey, get out the camera, diva.
What? I mean, I had a flyway hair. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I got a fresh cut today. Shoot, I'm feeling a little bit better about myself. Shoot, because this was looking like Grizzly Adams, and that's not inviting for intimacy.
It cracks me up.
Because I know you get that.
Oh, the tickle face.
Yeah, we keep drifting away from our topic. I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, tonight is just do your thing night. Like, I don't know what to say about it tonight.
Well,
Because at the end of the day, we're talking about intimacy, and this is a part of it. The communication piece we talked about, feeling heard, um, you know, having a connection. And so this is part of it.
So I got something for you.
Okay.
I don't know if I should be actually asking this.
Oh my goodness, why?
But no, I just want to say,
Go ahead and ask.
what what do you think is a requirement
For
intimacy? Is it physical touch? Is it words of affirmation? Is it a mixture of both? Is it just simply being present?
Okay, so the way for me to be able to readjust after I've had a hard day, hard week, or whatever is sensing. So the five senses, right? And so, yes, touch can be involved. It can be the affirmations. It can be, I mean, just whatever. You know, my favorite snack.
As long as I don't eat your last chip. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He wants to go back to the principle of the chip.
I retract that statement.
Oh my gosh, we'll have to do a movie about the principle of the chip.
No
We're
movie.
gonna have to reenact the principle of the chip. But anyways, and so it just
I just thought about something when you said that.
what?
I thought about the show, The Slap. Okay, go ahead with your thought.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Okay, first of all,
It just, I mean, that's
where does a chip and a slap come together?
because here's the thing.
You gonna slap the chip out of my hand?
No.
Like where the chip and the slap come
No,
together?
I just could see that everybody who's eating a chip from you off of your plate, that you just commenced to slap at everybody. That's what came to my mind. I'm sorry. Back to what you were saying. I might have derailed you a little bit.
He did. Now I don't even know what I was gonna say.
So I know you're talking about the senses, so it could be.
Okay, yeah. So, but every day is not going to be the same, and so that's what we have to understand about our partners. That every day, the way that we get intimate with our partners is not going to be the same. So it's not. I can't just practice and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna be intimate, or I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna have a connection today. Like that's not gonna work. You really need to put in the work in that moment or in that time to build that. Now, if we had a what you call it, a spat in the morning, and I'm still upset by 6 p.m., don't try to create a environment for a connection because I'm not feeling that.
Okay, so
because it should have happened between
throughout the day.
Yeah.
When we're separated from one another and you're at work, that's what you're saying. So
this could have been on the weekend.
So you're needing text of affirmation.
It could have been on the weekend.
I mean, but
my God.
I'm just going based off of the example you just
I don't know.
said.
I'm just putting it out there. It hadn't been proven. We haven't did a litmus test on that. Well, it's the chemistry lab. Like we do a love chemistry.
You got
We
the
didn't do a litmus
you,
test.
okay. So do we have the papers out here and the chemicals needed for you to get that right color? Is that what you're trying to do right now? You know what? I'm not going to do this with her. But one thing I did want to call out is this:
Hmm.
um, intimacy does not always have to be where the end result is intercourse. So I definitely wanted to
Right.
call that
So
out.
okay,
I
you
just
telling them. You're not telling me. Right?
I don't think I need to tell you, do I?
No.
Okay.
You don't need to tell me. I mean, I knew that. But I was just like, wait a minute, because you was looking over here. So I'm like,
Well, I'm look.
y'all, I swear, this is all day, every day. This ain't just when we come on Fridays at 7. This happened all day. Like, he be trying to act clever and stuff.
I don't know what she's talking about.
If y'all haven't met his dad, then y'all know the reason why I have to act like this.
Do not pull my father into this.
Okay. What did he say at our wedding?
Turn down for what?
That's what he said.
Whatever.
And he told me that I needed to be a young Thundercat.
Thunder, thunder,
I
thunder,
but
Thundercats.
young Thundercat
If y'all there,
able
please
to
help me.
take
Y'all say
charge
something. Ask some
of
questions.
situations.
Please say something. I see y'all on here. Y'all need to say something because I don't know what this dude talk about being a Thundercat and all of this and that. Next, he gonna be talking about he a silver fox, and if I catch him online modeling with a silver beard, I'm gonna snatch him.
I am not gonna be Mr. Steal Your Grandmama.
Him and his whole crew, the silver foxes. You gonna
Mr.
be out there with them?
Mr. Steal Your
You
Auntie.
gonna be back there with them?
No, can't do it. I ain't back there with nobody. Nobody. Um, but back to what I was saying previously, just outlining that should not always be
The end result.
the end result
Yeah.
or the expectation
Right.
for
Right.
intimacy. I
True.
think
True.
when you if you do that, you still kind of have. I think when you do stuff like that, there's still this kind of dating mentality where a dude takes a female out to dinner, he spends all this money, and then he expects something else afterward. If you're doing
Yeah.
that, if you're still using that same
Yeah.
practice in your relationship,
Yeah.
why?
That leaves a bad taste. It really does because the intimacy doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel real. It just feels like oh, you just being nice for this, and that's not the environment. That's not the environment that we want to
What?
foster.
What's wrong?
Look at this one.
I just
He rubbing my back, y'all.
just I th- I think that's too. That's always a funny thing that I've seen.
What?
It has been confirmed in life
What?
is that anytime you see a scene where there's a married couple and the husband is like, "Hey, what's up?" It's like, "Yeah, I'll give you some if you rub my back."
Whoever wrote those lines, they were trash.
They were telling the truth.
Nah, that was terrible. That was terrible. The new code word is now, hey, can you massage my back? That's the new code word. Like in all the shows, that's what they do. That's what they ask.
So you're saying it's a code word. It's a code phrase that you have to use to unlock the door.
Yeah, yeah.
That still sounds like a hot mess.
I didn't say it was right. I said that. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with him?
The work and energy you have to put into achieving intimacy.
Is it work or is it
It
an investment?
really? It's a short-term investment? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this
Okay, we must be talking about two different things.
okay, so here's the reason why I say it's a short-term investment. You're looking for a return.
No, I'm just talking about intimacy. I'm not talking about the end result that some
Okay.
people are seeking.
Then yeah, it's an investment. It's everything, every action that you should be taking in your relationship is an investment.
Okay. Okay.
Um, when you are, some things become muscle memory after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, like it's muscle memory for my wife to get in the passenger seat and never get in the driver's seat when I get in the car. It's muscle memory. Um,
Listen, you know that book that every married wife
that's
has
is no book.
that says if a woman is in a car that the husband should drive. Of course, you don't know it's the book because you're not a wife, but it's a book out there.
So this place must be held the same place where they hold that secret book that each president gets when they. That's where it
Probably.
is. Same little vault situation or something. It's like a national treasure.
Yes,
So in
the
other words,
Library of
so
Congress.
in other words, I need to get Nicolas Cage on board to go find it.
The Library of Congress. It is in a secret section that only wives can enter. That's the reason we have marriage license. You didn't know that, did you? That proves that we can get into that vault.
Oh, so that's why you were really upset when I lost our first one.
Yes.
Your permission, you were no longer permitted access to where this book. I should have. I need to lose the second one.
Hey, now I know how to get them.
You can't print them up at home.
You get
Those
them how you live.
I can't. I can't.
No, but no, seriously, um, it's an unwritten rule that when the spouses are in the car, that the husband drives.
It's an unwritten rule for who?
For married couples.
Now, is this both individuals in the relationship supposed to be aware of this unwritten rule? Because I don't think this is widespread information.
It is.
I don't think it has been disseminated
It
to
is.
the entire
It's been
populace.
proven over and over. It
Mm,
has been.
really?
Yeah. One time we saw the order out of order.
One time?
One time. But I guarantee you that's probably was not her husband. That was her brother.
The fact that you kept that face when you made that statement was enough for me right there. I was like, that is some bull.
Yeah.
Ooh, and you tried to sell it.
Could have been her dad.
I can't. I can't.
Okay, ladies, let me know. When you get in the car, do you drive or is it automatic that your husband drives? Drop your comments and let me see what you're saying.
I think in some situations, the men might be driving because they're terrified.
I ain't never got a
I,
ticket.
I know that's gonna come off as
I've
sexist.
never been in an accident that I have caused. Uh, actually, every accident I've been in, a man has caused it.
That's what happened.
Yeah, yeah. So, and they were at fault. That's what the police report said. Want to pull them? We can pull
Once again, her receipts.
them.
Um, no, why do I?
Why do you entertain the foolishness?
Yeah, and why do I nurture it?
I knew it. I knew that's what he was gonna say.
I nurture it.
My ignorance.
I guess that's part of our intimacy, right there.
I guess so.
Is that, and I think that's another thing too is identifying what intimacy is in your relationship.
Yeah.
Is it hand holding? Is it long looks in the eyes? Is it slapping?
You know, like eye contact.
She don't. She does not like for me to look into the windows of her soul.
No, no. Only God can do that. I don't be letting just random people in my soul.
Um, y'all heard how rude that sounded, right?
What?
Now I'm random. I have been so many things in this one segment. It's just like what? Wow.
I'm saying, when I say random, I mean you are not God. God Himself. So you could be the Lord with the little L,
Don't
and
do
then
that
we
one.
have the.
Don't use that. Don't use that. Don't use that. Don't.
That's an inside joke.
It is.
But
Um, but yeah, I think you need to be able to identify what that looks like. And for her, of course, like I said, she doesn't really care for PDA either.
no. And it goes back to me growing up. Like my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, like you didn't let people see your intimacy with your significant other. You just didn't. Not even your kids. And so it's carried over. Not to say that I might not do it every once in a while, but for the most part, no. Because I mean, it's just not.
And I think that's a big part of what, especially if you're raised in a household, that's what your kids should see. They should see PDA between their parents.
Well, I mean, they see a level of intimacy. They see our conversations. They see us hanging out on the couch together.
Mhm.
They see,
I'm
oh
sorry.
my,
Keep going. Go.
y'all see why I call him random? Because he be doing stuff like this to me.
Not random.
But I'm just saying, like, it don't have to necessarily, because I'm going to just tell you right now, I'm being uncomfortable if I see my dad hit my mom on the butt. Nah, we not doing that.
Okay, but
Y'all take that somewhere else.
PDA can still be measured though.
Well, I just said that. Oh my God.
I mean, you said the way you stated it
Y'all.
was like no PDA at all in front of the kids.
Did I just say that? I did not say
That's
they could
the
see ya.
examples that you had as you while you were growing up. No PDA in front of the kids growing up. That's
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to see it. I don't want to see my parents kiss. I don't want to see my parents grabbing butts. I don't want to see none of that. I don't even want to know that they know each other. I'm just saying. Because I don't need a visual. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a visual person. And so once I get a visual, it's stuck.
and I think
And I hate it.
I think
Ugh.
that might be
Ugh.
some of the reasons why some people are stumped with intimacy. They had an unfortunate situation when they were young, and now they've been scarred all the way through their adult lives, and they're like, I don't know how to fix
I'm gonna
this.
tell you right now. I did definitely have a situation with my parents, but it was a close relative, and every now and again the imagery just pops in my head. And I'm like, ugh, why? And I was like 6 or 7.
But you're like uber grown now.
I don't care. You don't. I don't want to see nobody like that unless I'm seeing somebody like that, which is you.
But
Like,
I find it funny that people still trip over particular things from their youth when it's things that really are the natural, for the most part, the natural behaviors of people.
this was no, no,
I'm just saying.
but
I
no.
mean, true enough, it can be tense when you're around a particular individual and you've seen them in a situation that's
This was
you shouldn't have
scarring.
been present
This was
for.
scarring,
But
and it was completely accidental, and I mean, but it was scarring, and so no.
you have to learn how to safeguard yourself at some point.
I was 7.
I'm not talking about no more locked doors. Look.
No, lock all the doors. People, lock your doors, please.
I'm glad you did not follow that up with hide your kids. Thought that was coming.
No.
Um, but no, I think a big part of what you have to do when it comes to intimacy is establishing a safe space.
Yeah.
And with that safe space comes a lot of times what comes with that safe space is a routine.
Yeah.
Knowing the coming and goings of your
Well,
home.
and then sometimes you have to take your spouse out of that situation. So when we talk about vacations and staycations, it don't have to be elaborate. You don't have to go on a 10-day trip. You don't have to do that. Just pick a Friday and say, okay, hey, I booked the room for us. We're going to go. We're going to hang out. No matter what y'all do. Like, it's just going to be us. We're going to leave the kids behind. We're going to leave the
And
family behind. Turn off your phone,
decompress.
decompress, and just create. When we talk about creating those moments, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, it could be just riding around the city, listening to old school and just holding hands. Like it could be anything like that to create an atmosphere
But
of
long as it's in the
intimacy.
car, right? Not everybody else can see you.
Well, I mean, you might get caught on camera, like the
Because
traffic cameras.
PDA.
You might get caught on traffic cameras.
Okay.
So, I mean,
But I think a good red flag too for that when you know you need to switch it up.
hmm
Um, and we kind of briefly talked about this the other day is that if you find yourself in your relationship and all you can talk about is work,
yeah,
you need to find a way to get back to each other.
yeah. I mean, you can grant that grace of talking about work for say, okay, we're gonna talk about it. We each get 10 minutes to get it out, and then we done with that, and we're gonna move on to us, or
Yeah.
we're gonna move on to this. So that way, um, you won't get stuck in that. Because I mean, we do like work is a big part of our lives,
It is.
and sometimes we get so engulfed in what's happening around us that we forget that's what's right in front of us,
hmm
right?
I think you have to be mindful of what distractions you have in your relationship. And even if they're not intentional distractions or things you want to consider distractions, you still got to be mindful
Yeah.
that at some point you have to make a space for your relationship.
Right. And you have to remove those distractions sometimes. You got to either take yourself out of the equation or remove the distraction from the equation
Or find a really good place to bury your kids. I mean, uh,
to send your
to
kids.
bury your concerns.
Y'all, listen. I'm telling y'all, this is him all day, every day.
I don't know what you're talking
From the time he gets up and sends me my first good morning text.
about. So I hope you guys enjoyed the topic for this Friday. We look forward to being back in swing come
hmm
next Friday.
hmm
Uh, I know a lot of folks probably going to be all over the place because kids are going back to school, right?
Yeah.
So,
Some have already started, and then some will be starting next week.
so we wish you guys the best of luck with that. Of course, for the most part, we are out of that pool. Um, Did want to take a moment and send a mad shout out to our oldest son.
Yep, he'll be dirty 30 tomorrow.
He overgrown.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to Gerard.
Happy birthday, G.
Uh, but we look forward to seeing the rest of you chemists next Friday, 7 p.m. I almost said be there, be square, but that's
That was the
real.
club. That
That's
was the
real
club.
L7 to say that. But no, it's a pleasure having you. See you guys next week.